promise to help each other, celebrate the joys of life, and to console each other.
Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show. You know what it is? Hey, ham solo. It's time, baby. Low. Let's turn out we do. Hey. They said we said we lit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you man. I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my pimpin' shit. About to go in and buy me a whip. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you in red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blitz. Got you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we lit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go.
Yo, what's cracking, everybody? Your boy Ham Solo back here on the scene. As I told you guys I would be. I didn't have the thumbnail up in time like I thought I would have it up last night, but I ended up getting it up this morning, and it is all good. We're good to go. What's cracking? Captain RJ, Michi Miyagi, Vincent Vega. Good to see all you folks up in here. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of time to kick it. I'm just going to be on for like about an hour. Just to be honest, I wanted to continue from where I left off yesterday. So, Destin had some pretty cool things that he said, and I don't have any problem with what he is saying or whatnot on his on his channel, but I just wanted to kind of go through it because here we are again. People are saying no tax here, no taxation there, but I'm here to tell you that tax is rampant right now. Tax is rampant right now. And by the way, if you guys haven't yet, you can check out this little game that I have a review for up on my YouTube channel as right now that I got from PAX called Kill Them All. That game looks hella dope, but I did an actual review of this game, and it's actually what you're seeing right here. But if you want to see it with the audio on and me actually talking to the developer, getting things kind of figured out as for what this game has to offer in the future, definitely go check that out. That interview is doing fairly well on the channel, and I just want you to make sure that you get to see the games that you guys care about on there. But anyways, moving forward, I want to just go on ahead and jump right into this. But before I do that, I'm gonna hop over to Twitter because I thought it was pretty interesting to see what we've seen today. So I got some dope footage that I'll be able to show you, and maybe I should start out with this footage first, which is embarrassing for me, to say the least. So you guys enjoy my embarrassment if you want to, because I'm not scared to show y'all what things happen to me when I'm playing video games. I mean, I'm a gamer. I'm here to show y'all what cracks on video games for me. So what's cracking, Longhorn? I always say Longhorn. Maybe it's because I'm a Texas fan, but Longhouse Podcast, what's cracking? Good to see you. Thank you so much for sliding through, Mr. Black Viking and this crew. I appreciate y'all. But anyways, when it comes to embarrassment, I'm not sure if you guys seen it on Twitter earlier today, but here is me playing this game called Content Warning. I'm not sure if you guys got a chance to see it, but there was like an ability to be able to purchase the game for free. Okay. And it's not a very expensive game by any means, but it's a pretty weird game. Actually, you know what? I have a few other clips just so I can kind of give you guys a good understanding of what this game kind of is. All right. So before we get into the messy, which I'm sure some of you guys came here just see, because I mean, yeah, company loves misery and misery loves company. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys a little bit of this game because I thought it was pretty neat. Me and Matt were playing it for a few hours last night. I was hella tired, didn't even want to play anymore, and I found myself doing another round of it. I was like, fuck it, let's do another round. Let's keep kicking it and see how it goes down. But so the game looks mad simple, right? This is us downstairs or under the warehouse area, right? It's just me and my boy, Matt. He has the flashlight. I got the camera. Still looking on that. Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint you with those jokes and whatnot. All right, so the whole point in this game is you're supposed to go like into the or whatever, and if you hear weird sound, that is Matt talking via his microphone, and I talk via my microphone. You can hear me, especially like when the camera's recording. You can hear me really well, and I'm gonna show you guys what I ended up getting recorded from one of these trips. But the game is nuts. The game gets kind of scary. As you see, it's kind of like a horror game. Kind of thing. But if I were to, let's see, fast forward just a little bit. Things get a little creepy. I want to go to like an extra creepy moment though. What's crapping, Nagina? What the hell? All right. You see me? I just started recording. The whole point is like record your stuff while you're in this area, and you have only so much oxygen while you're down there. You have to get some footage. You have like a minute worth of footage that you're supposed to be able to grab, and you're essentially playing content creator, right? But it's called the game's called content warning. You're playing content creator because you're getting all this eerie stuff, posting it on your social media page, and then getting all likes and whatnot, and money out of it or whatever. So yeah, this is me getting my ass beat, and then this crazy ass spider thing comes and fucks me up.
Shit. Where's the camera? Oh, fuck.
You can hear Matt. You can hear Matt tripping. You can't hear me tripping. Here's a different part of the game where you can hear me tripping. Where the game is a little nerve-wracking. Okay, again, this game's called Content War. So actually, let me go back to this real quick because I got to show you where you end up. So, do I have the home base thing on here? Yeah. So after you get done in the under area, close the door, go back upstairs. Oh my goodness. What's cracking, Matt? Yeah, Matt right here. Matt likes games. This is the brother I was playing with last night. It's good to see him. He says this game is sick, by the way. And the Gina says, I'm sorry, this game 30 FPS, the internet has told me I can't tolerate, and we'll have to leave. Well, it's on Steam, so I wasn't playing it at 30 FPS, but it's pretty good. It's not a big deal. 30 FPS game is still a video game. And if you have a problem with that, get a PC. If you have a problem with that, then that's why I kept myself prepared. I got a PC, Series X, Steam Deck. I'm good to go. As you see,
It's cool how
I seen that part
does
earlier.
my voice like
Me
that.
walking
You'll just
behind
watch
and then
your
me
fucking
falling to my
deck
death and whatnot.
all the
So
time.
you bring the disc over here, like I said, and then you, if you look at this whole screen, you can see like there's comments from your social media feed, and like right there on the top one, it says, "I think Ham Solo died." Yeah, I did die. I did die. And it says, I wonder if, and it also says, I wonder if it's Matty 30 is having fun. Yeah, he's running for his life. He's having a great time. But anyways, so if you can also become the bottom half of the room that you can see the views that I'm collecting by video camera. That's why you have to on the video camera app. You want to save film for freaky or wild things that go on.
What the fuck that shit is.
You end up going, hit the button.
It's like a
and
big
close the
ass
door,
spider.
and then you end up in Diddy's house. But I mean, you can get a lot of crazy. You go crazy shit at the same time. I don't know if this game's gonna have a Diddy DLC with it, but I think that would be insane, right? That would be insane if it had a Diddy DLC.
It's dope how they do like my voice whenever.
But oh, thank you, Matt, for telling me about the microphone issues, because I have this weird issue on my computer. There it is. Yeah, I have this weird issue on my computer where my microphone will randomly go lower. Like just now, I just turned it up and it just shot back down low again. It's really annoying. All right. So, anyways, yeah, thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. What the fuck? Why does this keep going down low? Nuts. Anyways, so yeah, now I ought to show you the embarrassing video of me, right? So if I'm gonna go on ahead and do that, I might as well do that right now. And this microphone thing is about to drive me insane. I need to figure out a fix for that. But let's go to so now that you know that, when you get to the end of this screen right here, as you can kind of see, you can save the video to your desktop because this game is on PC. So you can save it to your desktop. You can replay it to rewatch it, or also exit out and close. And then after you get done with the video recording, watching the video, collecting the views, you go upstairs. You can see these stairs right here. You go to sleep and then do the same thing the next day, but the enemies are a little bit more wild. Here's a little B-roll clip from when I clicked save to desktop one of the times, so you can kind of see me. You can kind of see me acting like a bitch, like straight up. Like I'm not even gonna front. I was acting like a bitch because I was nervous. Let's go on ahead and check it out. Okay. Oh my god. Where'd he go? You see that? This dude got an egg beater on chasing me. I was scared. I was scared to death. Where'd he go? Okay. Oh my god. I watched that for like 5 minutes. I watched that no kidding for like 5 minutes yesterday after I got done playing, because I was legit nervous. I mean, I'm holding the camera, right? I'm holding the camera, and I gotta get some good footage, right? I'm holding the camera, and this motherfucker chasing me, and you only in like try to sprint and run away. You only got so much stamina. The oxygen and stamina are separate, so that's something I've noticed that's very helpful to know about in this game. If you use a lot of your stamina, it does not affect your oxygen in the game. So you can run as fast as all you want, but you gotta make sure, like when you get in tight areas, that you save up on your stamina, because you never know when you're gonna have to bolt and run like I did, because I got my ass. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Like so that part was cool. Oh my god. But yeah, I got ran over that time. That time right there. Yeah, you see them beaters. Yeah, he beat my ass. He beat my ass. No diddy. No diddy. But yeah, he beat my ass. That shit was wild. I don't know what's going on all here with my PC today. It is tripping. Okay, my mic's back. All right, cool. So so as I was saying, this is a gaming content channel, and this isn't a shit talking, let's just sit around in a circle and hate on every single person in gaming channel. No, I'm sure I have Destiny that I'm going to be looking at and talking about within the show and whatever, but I don't hate Destiny. I don't hate any of these people out here. I mean, for the most part, there's some people I just don't really enjoy that much, but the people I really don't enjoy that much are just the usual suspects that just hate. Every day is just hate. Like I get tired of them motherfuckers. But as for this, yeah, they don't bother me. I'm just talking about it more or less because I find what he finds to be tax worthy and not tax worthy interesting. Okay, so let's go on ahead and move over there. Continue from where we left off yesterday. All right, so this is right after you said that silly shit, right?
No surprise at all. I got to be honest, y'all. I don't think Nathan said anything too crazy in his.
I laughed too hard about that part yesterday.
I do think Xbox needs to get on the right track with their game releases. And it's taken them a long time to get there. Sea of Thieves is very successful, though. Grounded is very successful, though. Halo Infinite.
I'm gonna pause this real quick for the super chat, just out of respect. Drawn TJ drops a $5 super chat. I will always pause the show or pause what's going on the screen to read a super chat, just out of respect. But Drawn TJ with the $5 super chat says, "What game is this? What's up, Ham Solo? Where is Loke the Pony Texan?" I'm gonna tell you right now that on Wednesdays he's not on the show. This is just me. It's just me. Tuesdays, yesterday, or not yesterday. Today's not Wednesday either. Today's Thursday. Oh my goodness. I'm thinking today's Wednesday. But anyways, I try to do this show usually on Wednesday. This is a follow-up show from Wednesday. I usually don't do this. I usually don't even do a show on Wednesday, but I'm trying to get more active on being live and solo on my show. Yeah, right. Vince Vega's like, it's Thursday, dude. Yeah, no, I'm a little lost in the sauce right now. But anyways, so yeah, Loke's always gonna be on the Tuesday show and bull sitting for Thursday for Friday, excuse me, and then on Sundays he does his like gaming log that he's supposed to do, but sometimes misses out on, and I don't blame him because sometimes I missed out on doing a few things. And, life gets busy and whatnot. So, it is what it is. But as for what game you were talking about, Drawn TJ, that was this game right here that you were talking about. This is called Content Warning off of Steam. So go through there, check it out. I got it for free because there was just like it for whatever the day was. It was free, and my buddy hit me up, told me to go check it out and get it. So yeah. That's how I ended up getting this game. Check it out for yourself, brother. It might still be free, but I doubt it. But just go to Steam, type in Content Warning, and see what happens. It's really easy game, but it's kind of freaky at the same time. But it's fun to play with friends. That's for sure. But anyways, going back to stop button for that. All right, so let's go back.
It has. And it's taken them a long time to get there. Sea of Thieves is very successful, though. Grounded is very successful, though. Halo Infinite has continued to do well, even though a lot of people have written that game off. I think if you're continuing to write that game off, I think you're incorrect.
Talk about it. Halo is. Nobody wants to talk about the resurgence of Halo, or how Halo is doing better than they would have thought, right? Because everybody was really kicking it while it was down. Stomping that sucker. As soon as they figured out, oh man, there's not enough content in it, and everybody was like, yeah, I can agree with that. They just nonstop stomping it out, man, to the white meat show. You know what I'm saying? Which is insane, because now you look at Halo and it's like, dude, I can't hop up on there and not find a game very quickly, or not be able to play with a bunch of friends on, community setting maps and stuff like that. And some of those Forge maps and stuff are incredible. They're incredible. Some of the Forge games are incredible. I got to play with a few people that make some of those Forge maps and stuff like that, thanks to my wife. Not because of me and content creating and meeting people within the community. No, it had nothing to do with me. My wife, she plays Halo all the time. So she got invited into Discords and stuff like that, and she just so happened to run into some people that make some of the Forge maps and stuff like that. Shout out to John Freeman. I'll probably be interviewing a couple of these guys in the future. I just need to get on there and play some Halo with them a little bit more and talk to them. They're good people. I've heard them talk to my wife. And I've hopped on there and talked to them once or twice. They're all nice people. They work hard on some of these Forge maps and stuff like that. Some of the ones where you're driving, you got to swerve and go back and forth. And, you and a teammate got to beat the rest of, everybody else. It's like a rat race or what is it called? What's that? What's that movie called where they're all kind of doing I can't remember. The Hunger Games. It's kind of like a Hunger Games kind of episode, right? But anyways, yeah. So if anybody likes Halo, make sure you guys check out some of the community games, because those things are hot and they're wild. And before they had even the survival, or not the survival thing, but the horde thing that's available to just hop in and play, it was already available on Forge first. Forge is a lot of ideas, and it's pretty dope. But anyway, let's go back.
Correct. But just to be respectful about it. And I don't think that he's failed. For all of his failures, according to most people, everything that he has done has been about the player. We have more access to more games at a lower price point.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, Destin, it sounds like you're doing some mad defending right now. I ain't mad at you about it. I mean, like I said, we get taxed to the high heavens over here, right? BGC, Eurogamer, IGN yourself half the time. GameSpot. Oh, 7 out of 10. Starfield. And we're going to tell you that throughout the rest of the year. Remember that last year? They had to let us know that it was a 7 out of 10 every month for the rest of the year. You know why they had to tell you every month? Because the game was popular. And they wanted clicks. They wanted clicks off of something that was popular, so then they can be popular. It's like that Diddy saying, you can call your friends, I can get my friends, and we could be friends. Nah, son, we ain't playing like that. Suckers. We ain't listening to that BS, man. I'm not taking it serious, but a lot of people do. When they click on these websites and whatnot, they read it and call it the gospel. It's tragic, but it just is what it is. All right, so let's continue.
They have
go grab some up
utilized their Game Pass growth to sort of force PlayStation to make positive changes for their player base. Their cross-generational strategy, I believe, has been very positive for the consumer. So I think he's done a lot of good for the industry, even being in third place, because when Xbox shakes things up a little bit it makes Sony PlayStation take notice because they need to have an answer to what Xbox does.
So competition's good. So competition's good is all I'm hearing from this right now. Big Man Mo in the chat. What? Okay. All right, cool. Perfect. Big Man Mo in the chat. Sorry, I need to get a new mic. Something ain't right with this. Something ain't right with this bitch. But anyways, I had to point you out, Big Man Mo in the chat, because I like what you're saying. He said Starfield is hot right now. But just remember, we gave it a 7. Exactly. The game is still being talked about today. We're still talking about Starfield today. You know what came out like a month and a half, 2 months before Starfield that nobody's talking about anymore? Unless they're comparing it to the most recent game that came out, Final Fantasy 16. I mean, people are barely even talking about Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth right now. People are talking about Helldivers more than that. Helldivers is hot, though. I got no disrespect for Helldivers. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I love me the small games. I love to see the small games blow up. I love it when the small games blow up. When a $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40 game pops off, even $50 sometimes. When those games pop off, I'm like, yeah, fuck these $70 games. Because they're trying to wax us. Yeah, Hazardor game in the chat says Rise of the Ronin came and went like a wet fart in the wind. Or he didn't say a wet fart. I added that part in there. Like a wet fart in the wind, though, man. I'm going to go ahead and say it. And, I mean, it's crazy because Team Ninja's talented. So it's just weird to see Team Ninja come out with their game like that. Like Wolong to me was hot. The story wasn't for me, but traditionally those stories like Dynasty Warriors and shit, I was never into those stories with Lu Bu and all that stuff. Like, nope. Liu Bei and all that stuff. Like, nope. Every time it's just spam X. I just like the gameplay in those games. I don't care about the story at all. Some games I do care about the story. That game, not at all. Shout out to John TJ, $5 super chat. I got to read that. He says, "Hey Ham Solo, I know you like COD and Halo. Do you think Xbox should make a Forge mode for COD?" Yo, I don't think that's crazy. Why not? I'd love to play a Forge mode in some of these older Call of Duties. You know what they should do is they should just make a Forge Call of Duty game standalone by itself and include all of the Call of Duties, kind of like a Master Chief collection, right? I think they should do like a Call of Duty Master Chief collection and include a Forge in it. Yeah, what do you guys think about that idea? I mean, that's my opinion. Ron TJ, I mean, wonderful super chat right there. Spark another conversation. I like it. I get shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Pixel Bitch G. He said Lu Bu, the warriors of the yellow turban. Man, y'all don't even understand how long Lu Bu been around, son. Like Lu Bu, Liu Bei, the Dynasty Warriors games, like that should go all the way back to like PlayStation 2 that I know of. And I'm sure it goes even further back in Japan. That's just my time, right? I'm sure it goes even further back in Japan. You know they about their lore. Wagwan bounty. So I'm gonna ask you this straight up, Mr. Bounty or a Bunty. I want to know, is it Bunty or is it Bounty? Because I've been hearing people calling you Bounty, and I'm just like, this paper towels? Or is it Bunty? Like I gotta bunt the ball with a Y on the end. I don't know. Hazardor says, I still need to try Neo. Wish more people got to try that. I can tell you right now, I don't care about that game. I've tried to play it for a little bit, and I was just like, nope, this ain't for me. I know it's a high acclaimed game. It's probably a really good game, but there are a lot of good games I don't like. And I'm totally fine with that. Okay, perfect. Pixel Bit, he says it's bunt like blunt. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so John TJ with the $10 super chat. Goodness gracious, man. He's so supportive. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. He says, Ham, me and you are gaming brothers. We need Forge and COD. Look, I'm sorry. I gotta like read around my camera right here. So COD look, Forge is out of date in Halo Infinite. It was designed for the fat Xbox One. Can you imagine a next gen for Call of Duty and Halo? I'm trying to imagine Halo in like some sort of Unreal Engine still. Like I'm still not over that part yet. I'm still not over that part yet. Like, are we still talking about possibly Unreal Engine on Halo games or whatnot? We already know that they canceled or supposedly canceled the certain Affinity, like what is it, the Battle Royale game or something? That's supposed to be shelved. So I mean, I'm still there. I'm still wondering that. And then shout out to shout out to Bunty. He says in Jamaica they call me Bunty. In America, it Bounty. All right, okay, I got you. I'm gonna call you Bunty. I'm comfortable with that. I heard somebody knock on my door. I don't know. Anyways, all right. So let's get back to the BS. Let's get back to what he got to say here. Oh Lord, Pixel Bid G with a $2 super chat. I gotta stop. I gotta stop and read these super chats when they come through. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for dropping in your love and support and talking that ish. But Mr. Pixel Bit G with the $2 super chat says, next gen Halo better, like Halo 4 on crack. I like the next gen Halo. I like the current Halo Infinite. But yeah, if they make a next gen and forget about the past box kind of thing, just like when they dropped Halo 3, they didn't drop that shit on their OG Xbox and say, "Oh yeah, we're making a switch." No, they just said fuck it and just dropped it on the 360 alone. And that sucker raked. You knew what you were gonna get and you got it. I mean, sometimes it was a little slow, especially with them servers back in the day and whatnot, but it was hot. It was hot. I loved Halo 3 back then. Action Sack was my joint. All right, let's continue.
And that's why Xbox is so important to the overall ecosystem of gaming. Even Nintendo has gotten in on the subscription market because of what Xbox has done and what PlayStation has done. Like these decisions that he has made.
Meanwhile, you go to Twitter or anything like that. You mention anything about Xbox changing the game over there like I did, you get vilified. Even though it's facts that they did. It's facts that the Xbox has been changing gaming since the original Xbox came out. I mean, the idea of just skipping dial-up and going straight to Ethernet, that was Xbox. The idea of listening to music while you're playing games, that was Xbox. The idea of having a chat between personal friends, Xbox did that. Move on to the 360. You're still able to play music in the games. You couldn't do that on PlayStation. What can you do on PlayStation now? You can play music in the game. How about them achievements? Achievements came from Xbox. Right? There's a lot of things that came from Xbox. The Kinect changed the game. You ended up getting the PlayStation Eye. Okay? I mean, being able to snap part of the screen, that was Xbox first. That wasn't PlayStation. PlayStation actually put it under harsher controls so you can't use it like you could on the Xbox. Unfortunately, the Xbox ripped that away, and that pissed me off. When they ripped Snap away, that pissed me off. And then you can talk about these subscription services. Everybody's, PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now was out earlier. Sure, PlayStation Now has been around for a minute. Sure. But what did they do with it? They just sat on it. Xbox said, you know what? We've seen that you copied us by making, your whole service that you need to have to be able to play online. But we see that you got this PlayStation Now, and we finna double down on it. They got Game Pass. What did PlayStation do? They switched their strategy with their PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now and smashed them together. Made all these different tiers and turned it into a Game Pass like service. Where even when you buy games, you can possibly get some credits back. You get these silly NFTs that you don't even know that you own. You see. And then also putting games on the PC. Remember, PlayStation would never. Well, they did. They did. So we're gonna still pretend like Xbox hasn't changed anything. They haven't done anything. They haven't pushed the needle at all or made anybody look back and say, oh fuck, I better get to doing that now, or else they'll catch up. Or else they'll catch me slipping. Oh yeah, they definitely did that.
Have forced the other companies to take a look at where their shortcomings were and improve them. So I would argue he's done a lot of good, even from the third place market. And I think he's on the precipice of making massive sweeping changes to the Xbox brand for the better. Thank you, Aries, for becoming a member. I see that console wars are dead. People.
All right, I don't care about.
Kenneth says, you think ABK deal the game?
Don't care about that.
Profit, make no mistake. Spencer spent part of his Polygon interview musing airily about a dedicated Xbox handheld, which I'm sure seems like a no-brainer in a world where Steam Deck exists, but I imagine it will be an alarming prospect for a development community that is slowly cottoning onto the fact that making games for Xbox is too much of a faff given the tepid reviews on offer. I mean, if they're releasing it on the Steam Deck, I don't know why it would be problematic to release it on an Xbox handheld, because Steam Deck independently verifies that those games run well enough. I believe that's how the verification process works. and you can run a lot of those games anyway if they're not verified for your own amusement. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me why he would say that, oh, it's going to be too hard for developers to.
No. And that's how I don't think this writer knows what they're talking about, in my opinion. Because if Xbox is going handheld and they're talking about Steam being implemented to it, and I said this yesterday, I'm pretty sure. If you want Steam on your platform, you must be what? What must your platform be if you want Steam on it? I'm just asking you guys that first, because I want you guys to answer the question. If you're listening right now, and you're okay to write in the chat, what does Xbox need? What does their platform need to be if, oh, Pixelbit said it. Ain't that something? It's crazy. I don't work for Xbox. I don't work for Microsoft. I'm just a regular cat that just so happens to be living in the Midwest in the middle of fucking nowhere. And I could figure that out. I'm a fucking country bumpkin out here and I can figure that shit out. It ain't hard to put those two together, especially if you're into gaming. If you've used Steam before and you can get Steam somewhere, what does that somewhere mean it is? It means it's a PC. What can you do with PCs? Scale. So then stuff like a Xbox Series S, again, in the future, or a Series S handheld is capable of being built. Why? Because the developers just have to make a Steam version. They just have to make not even a Steam version, a PC version. Once the PC version of the game is out, you scale it just like you would your home computer. If you have a 2080, if you have a 2050, which is pretty much what the Series S is, it's like a 2050. If you have one of those PCs in your house, what do you do when you download a pretty demanding game? You scale it back. So if they have the weak version of the handheld, that's a PC handheld-like thing, sponsored by Xbox, made by, Microsoft or whatever, just like the Surface Pros, because people forget that Microsoft still makes computers. Yes, they do. If you do that, then yeah, you can have a few different versions of an Xbox handheld. Just like they have a few different versions of Steam Deck, just like they have a few different versions of the ROG Ally. They're not stupid. They didn't spend $100 billion and was like, oh crap, like what do I do with this now? No, they had plans. It's fun.
Release on a handheld. I think he could have supported that argument better. I don't really understand that one. And I just realized this text is super small for y'all. GI Biz Chris Dring returned from GDC with tales of publishers questioning their future support of a platform that bakes in so much risk, a dominant subscription service cannibalizing game sales, the need to ensure parity across Series S and X, further increasing sky-high development costs. This isn't Xbox's fault.
Ooh, I wanted to throw
offers.
I wanted to throw down on that real quick too. So this whole parity situation has been a problem this entire generation for Xbox, especially when it comes to the Series S versus Series X, and Series X not being utilized to its like fullest power due to the parity ideas that Xbox has with the Series S. And this idea of just making it into a PC to where it's just scalable completely neutralizes that problem. It does. It completely neutralizes that problem.
Such a small audience in return. Now you want a handheld version as well. Best of luck with that. I feel like Nathan, like Steam exists, right? Like people realize Steam exists. So if you have Steam on a Windows OS powered handheld device or
Well, I
Epic
mean,
Game Store,
he's
which is
saying people following
basically
each other.
confirmed, assuming this thing is, it's like, it seems like Phil is saying it's happening. So I'm assuming it is. If you have those on there, it's just about launching a different app. Little in terms of forcing. Do agree with the question about the Series S though, and I talked about that on the previous stream. I wonder where that is going. Confused Risen says Activision games coming to Game Pass will create more competition, and competition is good. Like, who else could Microsoft, Sony ate all the small guys up? Yeah, like Sony was buying who they could buy. So
Okay, so these are like
they
questions. I don't care
failed.
about that.
I mean, there's
I just want to hear him talk about the article.
station
We'll be here.
that all his big bets.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
I don't know that we can say they failed, but I'll go with Nathan.
Wait a second, so.
Few years. I don't know that we can say they failed, but I'll go with Nathan on it, I guess. Now that all his big bets have failed, Spencer is turning to corrective measures, short-term fixes that might juice the.
All of his big bets have failed. Meanwhile, literally just got Activision. Literally just got it. Literally. That's like, that's like going to the bank, getting your loan, getting it finalized before you even start your business up. Somebody saying, I thought you were starting a business. Looks like you're failing. And it's like, wait a second, I haven't even done anything yet. I just got my loan. I haven't even bought the tools yet for my job. And you're telling me I failed? Don't make any sense. They were saying the same BS when Bethesda got purchased, right? Oh, where's the games? As if like you're supposed to shake the bottom of a bag and like find a couple games just to fall out of there. BS.
The numbers in the next couple of P&Ls, but seem destined to further weaken the Xbox ecosystem down the line. Bringing the likes of the Epic Game Store and its.io to Xbox consoles would confuse the value proposition, give users more way to give money to people that aren't Microsoft, and do nothing to transform Xbox's fortunes. That is a good point. That will be a little bit of money for Xbox, but it will give people more options on this new Xbox platform being pitched, meaning that money is going to go to Epic Game Store. It's going to go to its.io. Hopefully, I didn't see the Steam was confirmed. If somebody saw that, just let me know in chat.
It's like these people have not been around Microsoft for decades now, because Microsoft's whole thing is the piece of the pie. They've always been the company that wants a piece of the pie. They don't care. I mean, obviously, you can see they don't care about marketing. I mean, obviously, you can see they don't care about marketing because they're so used to not having to market because they're just taking pieces of people's pies. They do that all the time. They did that with Apple. They're currently doing that with Sony. They did that with Google. They get their piece of the pie if they can. If other companies allow them to infiltrate, they do it with the filthiest Trojan horse. That's what I feel like they're doing on the PlayStation platform right now by putting games on there. That's a Trojan horse. That's not for PlayStation. Xbox buttering up them Sony cheeks real quick so they can take some of their revenue share. Not only did we just take Call of Duty away from you guys, and now you guys got to pay us for Call of Duty, but now y'all got these games and whatnot, and you guys got to pay us for those too. So you guys are keeping us sustainable. Meanwhile, your fan base, this is Xbox talking to Sony, your fan base hates us, sure, but you guys are keeping our lights on without us having to really do anything. While y'all in the street bragging about, oh, Sea of Thieves, we get this special DLC thing. Of course you get this special DLC. They want y'all to feel special. Who the hell wouldn't do that? If they're walking into a new place and they know that, yeah, this first party, it's first party over there, but over here it's third party. So I don't know, maybe feel like redheaded stepchild's over here. Microsoft says, don't feel that way, baby. You all right? Take this little, take that. You know what I'm saying? Facts. They trying to get that cash. Pixelbit out here saying, he said the question people need to ask is how Microsoft will get people to put their games on Xbox PC stores so they can Nui games and so they can new games there. I don't know what that word is, unless the move to publisher is for a special treat. Buy. Okay. So I'm gonna reread that. I'm gonna reread that whole thing because that fucked me up. So he said the question people need to ask is how Microsoft will get people to put their games on Xbox and PC stores so they can buy games there. Absolutely, right? The ability not to be able to purchase, and here's why the whole teaming up with Steam might be the bet, right? Instead of going through all of the rigmarole of trying to get everything that's on Steam onto Xbox, they're just like, hey, how about we just partner up with Steam, get that slice of the pie again, so then we just sit back, not have to do too much, but do enough to make sure that there are games provided to said thing, and then put our subscription service in there. Because Steam has said, yo, Game Pass looks pretty hot. Wouldn't mind having it. Xbox said, Steam, y'all look pretty hot. Wouldn't mind having y'all. I'm interested how that coupling will happen. I'm wondering what Gabe and Phil are talking about in the background, if they're even talking at all. Sure seems like they're talking quite a bit.
Really quick, but he does make a good point there. I do think that there has to be a concern about the revenue share with Steam, the revenue share with Epic Game Store. How is that going to work? Epic Game Store hasn't been a huge success to date. They're trying to get people to launch there first because then you don't have to pay your development
I
costs.
tell you what, I'm not too concerned about
definitely
one of the world's richest companies.
So this, I'm going to give him this
ability to get revenue.
I think this is a good thing to highlight. I don't think that Xbox has.
I don't know why everybody keeps having to point out
then they
revenue
fail.
for
Until then,
one of the richest companies.
I just see good value proposition.
Why are we pocket watching them? We already know they got.
I don't really care how if Xbox like is having trouble.
In my opinion, that's like fucking. In my opinion, that's like, I don't know, being like Warren Buffett. What are you doing at the club? Why do you keep throwing all this money, Warren Buffett? Why? What are you doing why are you at the casino? You're wasting all this money. You've been losing all night. You've been losing all night, Warren Buffett. What are you going to do? How are you going to survive? He just looks back at you like, motherfucker, would you get out of my face? Like, for real. Like, bro, I can buy you. Tragic.
Making $1 billion, like if they only make 100 million instead of $1 billion, at least they're profitable, and gamers seem to be getting mostly.
You see, Dustin can't even take it serious. He laughing like, I make 100 million instead of $1 billion. Oh no. All right, he's what was the next one that you said, Pixel? Oh yeah, right here. I see it. Might as well just read the one that you recently put up. He says, "Did you read my next line? Xbox consoles become PCs means no direct competition to Xbox is third party. Xbox buys Steam, game over. It is." And I said that so long ago. If you check me out back in I believe it was 2021, 2022 on K Mega's podcast, K Mega was because we had a show where we talked about who they should buy, right? We talked about who they should buy. I said Steam before they even announced the Activision Blizzard deal. I said Steam, but then the Activision Blizzard thing came, and I was starting to think, maybe Steam would be the last buy from Xbox. People are like, oh, the FTC would never let them do that. Steam is private. Steam is a private company. The purchasing details are different than Activision Blizzard. Rachie nailed it just now in the chat. I just got done saying it, but he nailed it himself in the chat. He said Steam is so rich and it's a private company. Exactly. So the purchase of Steam is different than the purchase of Activision Blizzard. All that regulator bullshit, it's different. It's completely different. Pixelbit says, we complaining, but it really feels like they just want to be the kings of gaming revenue. So yeah, for me, seems like last buy. Gabe will retire eventually. Vincent Vega said, yeah, if Lord Gabe is gone, that might happen. It's going to be a dark day. Quit hating. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. I can't wait for that day. Oh man, because the one thing I've never been able to get too much into is Steam because of I like my Xbox achievements and something like that. But if they can somehow figure out a way to merge Xbox achievements and Steam achievements together, then I'm a Steam fanatic at that point. I'm just saying, because I don't know, I'm not even a achievement hunter like that at all. But I tell you what, I do have a really good time. I really do have a good time seeing that little pop-up happen, and then I'm getting it on my phone, and sometimes I don't know. It's just kind of dope. Or when my daughter's playing a game and I'm out of town or something like that, I get a little achievement pop on my phone from my account that my daughter was playing Bluey or some other, I don't know what's that game called, Peppa Pig or something like that. That's what I'm saying. Richie said Steve should purchase Xbox. Yeah, I don't think so, dog. I don't think they're going the opposite direction. And I don't think Gabe wants to deal with all that. That's a lot more for Gabe to have to deal with. Gabe's getting old. I think that I'd want to go the other way around. Especially for Gabe, because then he can fly off in his parachute. That golden parachute is real, y'all. I'm still, I can look out the window and see Bobby Kotick still. He's still flying. That motherfucker is gliding. All right, let's keep going.
Good things out of the situation, right? I would love to have my itch library on a console, don't get me wrong, but if Spencer thinks that's going to move the needle in any meaningful way, then I have some magic beans to sell him. And if he thinks that this is a two-way street, the first step on a journey that ends with Game Pass on PlayStation 5, Switch, and Steam, then he has truly lost the plot. The writer says he actually likes the idea. So I think he's coming. He seems to be like, I like everything Xbox has done, but they've failed in their business goals of making a ton of money, right? And I think that's what he's getting at. But even he admits that he likes this idea of having
Yeah, you see that? These same dudes frauding, sitting there saying, "Oh, Xbox shouldn't do that. They can't do that. That wouldn't move the needle." But I would like it. The fuck are you doing? What are you talking about? What are you? This wouldn't move the needle for Xbox, but I would like it. Well, then, what the fuck? You don't think a bunch of other people would? Like, make it make any sense. Why would you say that? Xbox shouldn't do that. It wouldn't move the needle for them, but you know what? I'd like it and I'd take advantage of it. Well, if you would like it and take advantage of it, don't you think others might? Just saying. What's cracking, Yobi? I see you up in there. Sir X, man, I see you. What's up,
his
y'all?
itch library on a console.
Thanks for
So
joining.
they're if even this extremely negative article is saying they're on to something, then that seems like they're on to something to me.
I mean, right? Right, exactly. He had all this negative shit to say, and then he said, "I'd like it."
Taking former exclusives to rival platforms is yet more short-term thinking.
What's up,
Sure,
Cracks,
it may
man?
pump the numbers a bit, but each new port is one less reason for a potential new customer to buy an Xbox, and one more reason for Xbox owners to switch sides and abandon the platform for good. Once again, I cannot see a way in which this ends with Xbox as we know it today at least getting stronger. The same argument was made when Xbox started doing day and date on PC. So this is one I actually disagree with a lot. The strategy is they release Xbox games on PlayStation, PlayStation players play it, and Nintendo players play it. And then when the next device comes out, which is rumored to be a handheld and the most powerful console they've ever made, like they say every time, they will purchase that thing because all those games are available as part of that ecosystem, and it's a way to get them in the door. That's what I see Xbox trying to do here. I don't think this has anything to do with the FTC or anything like that. So I disagree with this point. Agreed with some of the stuff he said in the private paragraph, not with this one as much. That is my immediate reaction to it. Like,
Okay.
the same argument could be made for PlayStation. Oh, PlayStation's releasing games on PC now. That's just one less reason to own a PlayStation 5. It's more of an industry problem than anything, right? So games are more expensive than ever to make.
Facts.
Super duper expensive. They need to release on more platforms to be successful. Look at Destiny 2. It had a 45% revenue miss and it's on 3 different.
Exactly. And then on top of that, what game are they working on right now? And where is that game going? Is that a PlayStation exclusive? Or are they going to do exactly what Xbox did with Sea of Thieves? Xbox owns Rare. Sea of Thieves goes to PlayStation. Big deal. Big deal. PlayStation buys Bungie. Marathon goes to Xbox. Crickets. Is it because Bungie's shit? No. No. It's because it's more popular to hate on Xbox than it is to hate on PlayStation. That's just a fact. It's the exact same thing, though. People will say, "Oh, but Xbox put so many more games on PlayStation than the PlayStation's putting on to Xbox." Yeah, and they also have so many more studios. You know? Do you want me to get mad about that? I'm supposed to be mad because somebody else is able to play a game that I already played years ago. Meanwhile, they're making a game for us I've never played before. It's brand new. And it's going to come out as we assume the day it comes out on PlayStation. I'm not going to sit there and bash PlayStation for sharing their games. It is what it is. Especially what happens if I don't even like it? What the fuck am I complaining about? Like Sea of Thieves? Sea of Thieves is all right to me. It's a great game that I'm not into. Let me put it that way. It's a great game that I'm not that into. I played it a couple times. I had some good times on it. Threw myself into the cannon and shot myself to islands and, dig up, finding some treasure in the ground and whatnot, or finding treasure maps that take us to other places, start off battles, do ship fights, do on ground, battles, shooting people with shotguns, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I've done all that stuff in that game. I have, I have a few hours, and not like 2 hours, more like, maybe a couple days into that game, if even, but I know it's not for me. And seeing it go to another platform, I mean, my selfish side says, what the fuck? But my I don't own this company, what the fuck am I doing complaining side says, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? It's, at the end of the day, it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't take any money out my pocket or put any money in my pocket. It is moot. It is moot.
From platforms, like something's out of whack with the budgeting. I don't think that's particularly an Xbox issue. That is an industry issue that should be addressed. So,
But
that
you know what they
particular
like to say? They like to say, if Xbox did it first or they did it the loudest, it's an Xbox problem, even if the entire industry is dealing with it at the same
paragraph
time.
I don't necessarily agree with. I think this is a great article, by the way. I love reading stuff like this where somebody like has such a wildly different opinion on what's happening than I do. And I don't feel like it's
I can't even front, Black John. I'm going to throw this on the screen so everybody can see this. I can't even front. That would be nuts. You see if these did a One Piece collab? Luffy. Yo, that'd be hot. That would be very popular. I'm not sure how One Piece feels about working with Sea of Thieves, but if they did do a collaboration, especially seeing that, Sea of Thieves is more accessible on other platforms now, go ahead and get your money. Go ahead and get your money.
inflammatory. I don't know what the right thing is. I don't agree with him, but I appreciate that he's actually thought about this and written it out a bit. Let us assume charitably that Sea of Thieves sells 5 million copies at $40 a pop when it launches on PS5 next month. It's still the top selling. It's still one of the top selling games. Still one of the top selling.
I'm telling y'all, that's some diabolical shit, Microsoft. You put your game that's like 6 or 7 years old and put it on another platform, and it's one of the highest selling games over there. I don't think some of y'all understand how nefarious the plan that Microsoft has is. You don't think Sony ain't scrambling to get something on the Xbox platform to see if they can rake over there? Why not? As you see, pushing everybody away and saying only in my ecosystem didn't work for them. Their headset. It's PC material now. Unless you're a pure PlayStation head, ain't nobody going to the store and buying the VR and the PS5 at the same time. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. No one's walking in the store and spending $1,000 on gaming for Sony unless they're a PlayStation fan. But your regular parents walking in shopping for their kids aren't doing that, bruh. I can tell you that because I got a kid of my own. I'll go to the store. I'll either get her the Series S. I'll get her the PlayStation. I might get her the VR. But you'd be out your goddamn mind if you think I'm going to get a console and a headset at the same time. And then not only do I think I'd be out of my mind, I'd have to deal with my wife. You know? Ugh, just thinking about it. Shivers. Yikes. So I ain't trying to do that.
Games. Let us even more charitably pretend that means $200 million in revenue for Microsoft, ignoring distribution and marketing, Sony's platform cut, and the cost of making the port in the first place. Last quarter, $200 million would have increased Microsoft's revenue by about 0.3%. That is merely a rounding error for a company of that size. And where the health of its gaming division is concerned, it is little more than a sticking plaster. It's $200 million from a game that has been out for several years. How is that bad? Yes, it's 0.3% of Microsoft's. It's $200 million for a 6-year-old game. Sorry. Maybe you don't switch to the next Xbox console. Everybody still thinks about the console market, and that's the weird thing, right? It's not, the console market isn't growing. So anybody
I gotta run that back because you said that nice and slow. I think more people need to hear that bullshit, right?
everybody still thinks about the console market, and that's the weird thing, right? It's not, the console market isn't growing.
That's the all one right there. He ain't lying. The console market isn't growing. It's not. So all these people on Twitter, all these people talking shit every day about, oh, Xbox and the console and PlayStation, but the console on the PlayStation, it's selling, it's doing so well. It's doing so well that they're looking for other places to put their games. That's good. It's doing that good that it needs to put their games on other devices. Mm-hmm. Same with that headset. Yep. Yes. Yes. And Black John, yes, the headset did cost more. It's $550, $600 if you want the Horizon Call of the Mountain. Yeah. Unless they changed the price recently to try to get them more off the shelves because they're getting absolutely dog walked by Oculus. Shit, they're probably getting dog walked by Oculus Quest 2. I mean, whatever. I mean, I personally still think the Sony VR headset's better. I personally do. I mean, the specs on it are better. The only thing that's not better about it is it's not wireless. And it doesn't have the AR mode that I know of. And that's the only thing about it. On average, what'd you say that was, Ray Chief, for console sales per generation in the total? Look, Ray Chief's putting the console sales in the chat right now. The original Xbox. Whoa. What? Wait. Oh, 30 million. Okay. I was going to say the original Xbox did not have 180 million. He said equals 180 million if you can combine the two. So 150 from PlayStation and 30 million from Xbox, 180. Right? PS3, 90 million for PlayStation. 360, 85 million. 175, a net loss of 5 million. And yet everybody is like,
So
Xbox must pay attention to the console market.
everybody still thinks about the console market, and that's the weird thing, right? It's not, the console market isn't growing. So
Yeah, it's not. It's not. Ray Chi says right here, it's always around 180 million. It's always around. You know what they call that? It starts with the letter S. The word of today is stagnant. The word of today, ladies and gentlemen, is stagnant. That's what the console market is. And to listen to all these fools tell you every day that Xbox needs to do better console wise, sure. But does that need to be the main focus all day, every day? Not if things are stagnant. Not if things are stagnant. I feel like that's basic business. If things are stagnant, you got to make a change. We talked about yesterday about how many damn different changes Nintendo did. Just look at Nintendo since the NES all the way to the current Switch. Which console do they have on from that are like? The two closest consoles that are similar at all, which they're not that similar, is the NES and the SNES. The Wii and Wii U aren't similar to each other at all, other than that they take CD-ROMs. The Wii and the GameCube, nowhere near the same. Nowhere near. The GameCube and the 64, nope. One takes disc and one doesn't. One takes cartridge. One controller is insane and looks like a spaceship. The other one, I don't know what the hell it is. Looks nuts. The C button is a right stick. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to switch it up. Could you imagine if Xbox and PlayStation switched it up the way that Nintendo did, and they were all kind of good for people, but in their own dynamics? Probably have more sales. You know why? Because it's different. You get the devices for different reasons. Sounds like that's what Microsoft is trying to do, is say, hey, we're trying to be completely different than what we've been doing. Because what we've been doing is just following. And following isn't doing anything for us. They're telling you that right now. That, hey, we've been following PlayStation on their own track for decades now. And even when we were close to beating them, the total console sales was damn near the same. So, yeah, we made more money that generation, but the entire business of gaming as a whole didn't really budge much. In fact, things got more expensive.
anybody in chat arguing about the console, you know what console sold the best ever? The PlayStation 2. Nothing has beat the PlayStation 2. There's a post today where it talks about how Jim Ryan said it actually sold 160 million units. So now the Nintendo Switch doesn't even have a chance to reach it. The consoles don't matter. The industry needs to evolve with their distribution strategy. And anytime I see these arguments, it's very strange to me because
Ray Chi with another one. PS4 117 million. Xbox One 57 million. Total 175. The exact same as the prior generation. MJ Dark coming in. He ain't swinging no white flag for shit. He said the Switch will beat the PS2. 174. Close enough. I didn't do the math myself. I appreciate you correcting your own shit because I wasn't finna do it. But you're right. It is 174. 7 and 7. Yeah, 14. Got it. But anyways, let's continue.
It's not 1992 anymore. It's not 20 years ago when we had these boxes that were necessary to run these games on locked ecosystems. Look at how well the Steam Deck has done for Steam. The Steam platform is successful, and the Steam Deck is successful because of their library. Most of their money is coming from the game library, their platform, Steam, right? So I don't see how 200 I really don't get that one. I think that one's a little crazy. Somebody asked me a question in chat actually a little bit ago. This take from Destin is what I think as so wrong. Why would you switch from PlayStation? Because a cool new
Hold on real quick. So I see you guys saying that the Switch will beat the PS2. Yobi said it. Mr. Joanna Dark said it. I don't completely think that's crazy. Because if they drop a brand new Switch and then make the current Switch that they have extremely reasonable to purchase, price-wise, that might be a problem. Because that's really when the PlayStation took off extra hard, is when they dropped that price. Switch has been pretty close to the regular price. Switch has been pretty close to the regular price since they launched. In fact, they raised prices for a little while during the COVID times when they were going through like a lawsuit or something like that, and they had to like stop making them or whatever it was. But those Switches shot up to like $600, $700. Oh, Mike Johnson, I can tell you haven't been here very long because I haven't been attacking Destin at all. You must have just got here. Now, I actually agreed with him more today than I did yesterday, just because he is kicking back. He's kicking back at this article that he's reading and saying, I don't agree with all of it. He agrees with some of it. I don't agree with everything that Destin's saying, but I see what he's saying and I ain't mad at him for it. I don't think what he's saying is insane. I see what he's saying and I disagree with some of it, and I agree with a good amount of it. No disrespect to any of these folks.
new handheld
That's
comes
not how I
out,
rock.
and you can have all of the games that you love, including the sequel to Hi-Fi Rush, there first for a year. It's the same reason, like, why would you buy a PlayStation if you know all the games are coming to PC? It's the exact same argument. Why can't you take the same lens that you're focusing on Xbox and apply it to PlayStation? Because the exact
Oh, Destin, why did you say that? It's almost like he just said that there is an Xbox tax. It's like we're that close, ladies and gentlemen. We're that close. That's it. I think that's about as close as we're probably going to get to Destin saying there's an Xbox tax. Because he literally just said, why can't you take the same lens that you look at PlayStation with and look at Xbox the same way? Welcome back to reality, my friend. I've missed you. No, Diddy. I'm just saying, like, listen to this. Like,
you know all the games.
remember, not that long ago, he
for a
told
year.
me that
It's
there
the
was
same
no
reason,
tax.
like, why would you buy a PlayStation if you know all the games are coming to PC? It's the exact same argument. why can't you take the same lens that you're focusing on Xbox and apply it to PlayStation? Because the exact same strategies are being implemented at PlayStation. They've slashed their trajectory for console sales. They've slashed it from 25 to 21 million. Somebody want to do the math real quick on what a 4 million console sale cost reduction or revenue reduction would be? And how many games that they're not going to be able to sell that they imagined that they would have been selling to those 4 million customers? It's a lot. Why is Hiroki Totoki going so aggressive with the PC release strategy? The fact that it's not seen, I just don't get it. And the strategy that I think Phil is that I think he's implementing, I'm not saying he is that he releases these year-old or 6-year-old games in Sea of Thieves, or Grounded is even older, on these other platforms, and maybe like 1% of those, what was his math here? 5 million. What's 1% of 5 million? You get a few more users in PlayStation. Like, you can't think about this like a year later. You have to think, what is Xbox's vision over 10 years? These companies plan 10 years out, and they try and make trajectories for that. They're not, of course, they're looking at the day-to-day, but they're also looking further out. Yeah, PlayStation games do sell very well. Tuvok 1980, not good enough for Hiroki Totoki or PlayStation exec.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying for now, what, an hour and a half? PlayStation games, sure, sometimes they sell, sometimes they don't. We've seen that clearly. The support for their own games on their own consoles sometimes is very minimal. It's not great all the time. Not every game is Spider-Man. Not every game is God of War. Not even every game is Horizon Forbidden West. Ugh. I didn't like that game. But I understood why people bought it. Hell, I even bought it, right? It was a beautiful looking game. It's just boring. In my opinion. It could have been fun to you. But to me, it was just a little too boring. A little too dry. It was like boiled chicken. From a distance, it looked good. Once I sucked my teeth into it, I was like, this motherfucker ain't got no season. You feel me? So, if they can't always get their games to sell crazy, and Jim Ryan's like, yo, we did phenomenal. We're doing great, but I'm out. But I'm leaving. I'm done. Of all times, I'm done right in the middle of the generation. I'm done. And then Hiroki Totoki comes in and says, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be releasing more games on PC effective immediately. Uh-oh. If it's effective immediately, or if it's effective more than it was yesterday, something didn't happen that was right. Something went wrong. Something went very wrong. Mr. Joanna Dark with a $4.99, fuck it, $5 super chat. Okay. Mr. Joanna Dark with a $5 super chat. He says, what we are seeing is, despite high console sales, nobody is buying on PS5 and attach rate must stuck. But this is also true about console exclusive. Yes. That's a $5 fact right there. That's a $5 fact. Oh, and then he comes out with a disrespect. Okay. $2 super chat. From Mr. Joanna Dark says, Aloy is as exciting as a piece of lint. Oh, man. I mean, her character model, it was crispy. But that was the best thing about her. Because she was just a meh of a character. Meh. Meh. Boring. And I get it. Maybe they're trying to go for this character is good for everybody type of thing. But you still got to give them some sort of like excitement or direction or discomfort for the for the person that's playing as them to kind of feel like they have some sort of need to worry about this character. But you go into battle, you don't care about Aloy. She's like damn near a robot. Shout out to Sir X-Man in the chat. He's been a member of the channel for quite some time. You guys can become members too if you want to for only $2. Support your boy on the TSWS Gaming YouTube channel. You can do that damn thing, but you can, if you don't want to spend that $2 to become a member, you're more than welcome to, for free, hit that like and share this out to everybody just to continue to support. I'd appreciate that as well. Ray Chi says, I just want Gravity Rush. Yeah, well, Japan Studios is down. So, I mean, the idea of a Gravity Rush or a Bloodborne remake or something like that is a little further fetched than it should be. I still think that they'll end up doing something with Bloodborne at some point because it's just like even the guys that worked on it said that like that would be like their most exciting project to possibly do. And I know Gravity Rush, they were talking about wanting to work on that as well, but I think you could easily get PlayStation to get more excited for something like a Bloodborne. Just because I just think that would, especially with the whole Elden Ring thing still being extremely popular. You drop something like Bloodborne on PC with that uncapped frame rate, and then on the PlayStation 5, if they come out with a PlayStation 5 Pro, dropping Bloodborne on that day one would go nuts. I'd have to get up and give PlayStation a round of applause for that one. Because that would be a great move for them. Bloodborne's not for me. I'm not a Souls guy. But I know it's a good damn game. I went in, played it for a little bit. It's just not as open as like an Elden Ring. So it's just, to me, it's just too tight. I don't like it. I don't like doing all that navigating through all these little things. Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. But was the combat nice? Yes. The combat was real nice. Being able to have the gun and the sword, that was nice. Fighting that first crazy boss with the dreadlock looking things all over him and getting my ass thrown all over the place, that was fun. It was a good time. But the way I played Elden Ring is I pretty much went like from boss to boss to boss. And like I would farm in between some of them. So like I'd go to the side of graces over and over and over and refarm. You remember farming the chicken in Elden Ring? Yeah, I farmed the shit out of that chicken. Yeah. So that's what I liked about Elden Ring. That's what made it accessible for me. But as for Bloodborne, just not for me. Good, great game. Great game. Not for me. Let's continue.
Executive leadership. They don't. They're spending $300 million on their games right now. And we know because of all those documents that leaked, unfortunately, some of them are not initially launching as profitable, like they're long tail profits. Let's finish out this article. I do like this article a lot, though. And I really respect the writer for writing it because they've probably been being beat up for like several days. I don't agree with
Well, yeah, of course. Why the fuck wouldn't you get beat up for saying a bunch of dumb shit? I'm sorry. I'm going to be blunt about it, though. Of course you're going to get, of course people, I'm not going to go out of my way to beat up this person. I'm not going to tell any of you guys to do that. Do something better with your time. Don't argue with pundits on the internet about dumb shit. Don't waste your time telling people how PlayStation is going to do or how Xbox is going to do, just mind your own fucking business. It's a waste of time. These people don't want to be convinced one way or another. They just want to attack. It's a waste of time. Just don't do it. I say stuff all the time on Twitter and stuff like that, and people come through and at me and tell me how stupid I am, or how how little knowledge I have of understanding this, or how I'm just a shill for this, that, and the third, and I'm just like, have a nice day. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't. Facts, Mr. Jandoc. No Diddy on that chicken. I was just murdering them. I was shooting them. I wasn't shooting my shot. I was just shooting a goddamn crossbow and killing them. so you get them nasty thoughts out your head, sucker. But yeah. Of course a bunch of people are gonna, you say some wild stuff that is more or less to get a reaction out of people, because you didn't say a bunch of stuff to inform people. This article that Dustin's reading isn't informative. It's just an opinion piece that just so happens to say a lot of derogatory things towards Xbox, in the sense of they don't know what they're doing. They got problems. If they try this, well, then good luck. Like, it's like, this opinion piece wasn't to share a good sentiment about anything. You weren't supposed to walk away after reading this article and be like, man, I feel good. I mean, unless you're a console warrior for PlayStation, you're not supposed to read this article and come out of it thinking, man, I learned something. This man is spitting. You're not walking away from this conversation thinking that. You're just thinking, yeah, this dude really doesn't like what Xbox is doing, and he doesn't seem to like Xbox in general. That's what you get from reading it, or from reading it, listening to it, however the fuck you do it. That's what you get.
But it's always good to have people that challenge our blind spots and have these conversations with, right? To be clear, I feel bad for Spencer. He seems a decent sort. I think he's come into this with the best of intentions, and in a parallel universe where every horse he backed romped home, he would be credited with transforming and perhaps even saving the games industry. In another, where instead of spending 70 billion on, so it's all about the 70 billion thing.
Look at Dustin. He looked like he had a breath. Yeah, man. He said, like, I feel you, bro. It's a head scratcher, man. I'm sorry, Dustin. But you're the guy that told you. You're the brother that told me that there was no tax. There is no tax. But these people out here saying the same stuff every other article, and hoping that it sticks, and hoping that we say this is bad for long enough that it will just become bad. Let's see how Dustin reacts to this whole thing. Let's see how he reacts. I'm curious. Let's go 10 seconds back just so we can get
industry. In another, where instead of spending 70 billion on, so it's all about the 70 billion thing. Where was the criticisms when Sony bought all the companies that they bought? Nobody cared. But like Xbox starts spending lots of money because they have lots of money and it matters. Do you really think that if PlayStation could have bought Activision, that they would not have bought Activision? They absolutely would have. They absolutely would have bought Activision. If that landed at their front door, they would have been fighting for it. They probably tried to. They're
Not
not going to be
against.
like, oh well, we really want to foster our relationship with Activision. The spin would be, well, we've had all of these, exclusive partnerships with PlayStation for so long, and we've been working together so closely. And the same thing, the same sort of narrative that Xbox did with the Bethesda thing, by the way. That's exactly what Sony would have done. So this idea that PlayStation wouldn't have bought Activision if they could have.
Let's listen to that one more time, ladies
Where
and
was the
gentlemen.
criticisms when 70 billion?
Let's just one more time because it just feels good. It feels great.
70 billion.
I'm not gonna lie, this feels phenomenal. So all the shit that I've been talking about, saying, oh, why are these companies not, or why are these people not looking over at this thing when it's the exact same? It's literally the same shit. And if they would have done what Xbox have done, nobody would have said shit. They would have just been like, they would have checked their phone and went right back to sleep. It's just another day for Sony. Domination. Right? But Xbox did it, so it's not a domination for Xbox. It's a failure. It's a failure to launch. They're screwing up. They're not doing it right. They spent $70 billion, and what did they get out of it? Great.
So it's all about the 70 billion thing. Where was the criticisms when Sony bought all the companies that they bought? Nobody cared. But like Xbox starts spending lots of money because they have lots of money and it matters. Do you really think that if PlayStation could have bought Activision, that they would not have bought Activision? They absolutely would have. They absolutely would have bought Activision. If that landed at their front door, they would have been fighting for it. They probably tried to. They're not going to be like, oh, well, we really want to foster our relationship with Activision. The spin would be, well, we've had all of these, exclusive partnerships with PlayStation for so long, and we've been working together so closely. And the same thing, the same sort of narrative that Xbox did with the Bethesda thing, by the way. That's exactly what Sony would have done. So this idea that PlayStation wouldn't have bought Activision if they could have, it's not true. Microsoft had a ton of money. Activision came to them at the right time. Their valuation was lower. They're a $1 trillion company. And Xbox took it. They're like, all right, we'll buy Activision. So yeah. In another, where instead of spending 70 billion on Activision
All right,
Blizzard,
this is the
he
last
spent
part
it
I'm gonna
on
take, and then I'm gonna move on
230
to
odd
the other
games with
one.
the same budget as Spider-Man 2. Perhaps Xbox is flying. What's going to happen when the next Call of Duty comes out and all that profit's going to Xbox?
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Uh-oh.
Everybody seems to be forgetting about this. That money's going to start coming back
Pepperidge
in.
Farm
All the
members.
World of Warcraft money is now part of Xbox's money.
Oops.
All the King game money is now Xbox money. All the Bethesda game money, that's all Xbox money now.
Oops.
They did the market projections of these expenditures. You reported Xbox buying Activision day one, but really who cares? Activision games are turning into milk system. People should avoid them. Perhaps they should, Ace, but they don't. Call of Duty is still one of the #1 selling franchises in the world. And I think
perhaps they should avoid them, right? Because they're not that great, apparently. They're so bad that people can't stop buying them and playing them every year, even when I personally think it's a ripoff. Like games like 2K, Madden, Call of Duty, when they do their year after year after year shit, I'm like, I buy 1 year and then I wait like 2. For the most part. Or I catch it on a damn good deal. Shout out to Matt Likes Games. He got me 2K24. The Kobe Bryant edition or whatever. It was like $30 for him to get it for me. But it was like the whole Mamba edition or whatnot. And it came with all the VC and all this wild shit. $30. I'm not gonna spend $70 for that dog. I'm all set. Especially when I have 2023, I have 2022. In 2023, I didn't pay full price for. 2022, actually, I don't even have 2022. I played that off of Game Pass. So I bought one. Matt hooked me up with the other one because we like playing basketball together, and he's like, "Yo, dog, I need you on here. I need you on the court. Here's this code right here, and get your ass over here and get on the court and let's ball." I did the damn thing. Here soon, me and him are going to be game sharing, so we don't even have to do that anymore. We're gamers. We figure out how to pay for things, how to share things, how to get things done. Certain platforms give a damn. I'd even say I'd go as far as saying PlayStation even cares enough to be able to allow me to share games with people and stuff like that. The worst sharing system is Steam. Of those three, actually, I'll even throw Nintendo in there. Of those four, Steam is the worst to share. Easily. You can't play the same game at the same time. If somebody buys a game, like let's say Matt buys Dragon's Dogma 2, which he did. He plays it. I can play Dragon's Dogma 2 from him only if he's not playing it. But as soon as he starts playing it, and if I'm playing it, it kicks me out of the game. Because Steam sharing is shit. It's not very good, in my opinion. It's not. I see what they're trying to do. They're like, oh, you guys want to play at the same time? Well, then buy it. Nah. No, that's not how game sharing works, in my opinion, Mr. Joanna Dark. Because game sharing on PlayStation, I don't own Evil West. Matt doesn't either. But since Matt has a PlayStation Plus or PlayStation whatever, the essential thing or whatnot, we were able to pick it up. I downloaded it. He downloaded it. We played at the same time. You can't do that on Steam. You can't do that on Steam. You can share, like I said, you can share games on Steam. You just can't play the same game at the same time. And Mr. Jan Dark, I will give you some credit because they did update it. It was worse before. It was way worse before. Before a couple weeks ago, if the other person was playing a game, you couldn't play any games. That's what it was before. So if I wanted to play Banishers and Matt's playing Dragon's Dogma 2 a few weeks prior, I would have got kicked out of Banishers when he jumped into Dragon's Dogma 2, and I wouldn't have been able to get back into Banishers. I wouldn't have been able to get into Dragon's Dogma. Wouldn't be able to get into any other game, Elden Ring, whatever, that he happens to own. Of course, I can still get into my library. I can still hop into my library and play my games. No problem. So it is better. I'll give you that. It is. I mean, that, and that's not slightly better. That's way better. But it's still not as good as Xbox, as good as PlayStation or Nintendo. This is what it is. Anyways, so that was the last bit that we're getting on to Destin for that one. Destin also has this other video right here that I thought was pretty interesting. And like I said, I'm not bashing Destin. I don't have any problem. Destin seems like a pretty good dude. He seems like he got good cookies too that him and his family make. I heard they're good. I haven't had them. But like, I guess the Legary cookies are good. But anyways, let's go on ahead and listen to what he has to say. I'm gonna throw this back a little bit. So let's start from the jump.
It's 2024 and games are more expensive than ever. Publishers are taking fewer risks and layoffs are rampant.
By
As
the
the
way,
most
this one's gonna take a
front-facing
lot
of the
less
big
time.
three gaming executives, Xbox CEO Phil Spencer sat down for an interview to lament the current state of the video game space. How does this industry get back to growth was the resounding question he left us with in a recent interview with Polygon. It's clear that console sales aren't seeing the growth that even leaders in this regard would like.
We talked about that already.
PlayStation is porting games to PC via Steam.
Facts.
Xbox is expanding its release strategy to include Steam, PlayStation, and Nintendo, and it's becoming clear that there's seemingly a consensus between PlayStation and Xbox that the entire industry is going through a recalibration, starting with console exclusives. The recalibration has been accelerated thanks to a massive wave of layoffs that has roiled the video game industry. We covered the impact those layoffs have on those who create games before, and as thousands of applications flood the inboxes of the few companies looking to hire, it's likely many of the displaced will move on to new industries in the future. The entire industry is resetting to the commercial reality, with some companies realizing they have overexpanded, become unfocused in their strategies, or become overstretched financially. Pierce Harding Rolls of Ampere Analytics tells IGN. By now, it's widely known that there are two primary culprits for the recent wave of layoffs.
Let's see what those two primary culprits are.
COVID is one, according to Michael Pachter of Wedbush Securities, and Dr. Serkan Toto of Kantan highlighted another reason this wave is hitting the industry. High interest rates, slowed down growth, inflation, and overall negative sentiment are clearly weighing on the game industry and gamers alike. As a result, Spencer says it's clear we'll be seeing a shift in the coming years away from console exclusives to mitigate the losses in revenue everyone has been reporting. The impact of the revenue needed to break even on $300 million budgets has had devastating consequences in the form of mass layoffs. Going forward, I believe the industry is not done yet seeing layoffs. We will see further bad news through 2024. The reply.
That's rough. That's rough. I know, right? Rachel EC says, when I hear COVID, they make it sound like it lasted a decade. I mean, yeah. But like the ramifications from COVID are something that we do need to pay attention to, right? Because the overhiring went nuts when COVID happened. And then the layoffs have been detrimental since COVID. Also, in seeing the way that people purchase things is totally different as well. Because obviously, back in COVID, a lot more people were purchasing things because they were just at home kicking it, right? So digital software was going nuts. Console sales were going nuts. You remember how hard it was to get a Series X or a PS5 or even a Switch? Shout out to the Cosmos lover. I see you, Cozy. He said we outside. We outside. We working. All right, so let's continue.
From Dr. Serkan Toto.
After this,
games is a concerning
about 8
prediction
minutes left in
that
this
proves more
video
true
right here.
as the days pass in
We'll get up out of here
2024.
after this,
PlayStation, Xbox, and EA have drastically reduced their staff, making headlines at every major gaming publication. Embracer not only saw layoffs, but also started spinning out their recent acquisitions like Gearbox to new owners. And then Gearbox had layoffs. While Spencer is the latest to lament the negative impact the budgets and layoffs have on the entire games industry, highlighting a risk-averse publisher market, rising AAA game creation costs, and a flatlining console business, it's clear to him that things need to drastically change. PlayStation seems to agree, as they've slashed console sales predictions for 2024 from 25 million to 21 million, and highlighted plans to be more aggressive with PlayStation game releases on PC. All of this has an effect on the games industry as...
You know what, Rachel? I'll tell you right now, I'll take any disposable income. Shout out to Ray G. Shout out to Ray G. He's been a member for quite some time now. Shout out to the brother. He said this super chat is called disposable income. You shoot. If anybody wants to give me some disposable income, I will take it. And you know what I'll do with your money? You know what I'll do with your money? If you give me money, what I will do with it is just go to another event and give you guys more coverage. Give you guys more new games to be popping out or more developer interviews and stuff like that. I'm not looking to take this money that Ray Cheese given me, that Mr. Johanna Darks gave me, that Drawn TJ, Sir X Man so many times in the past, or any of y'all out here. That's what I'm doing with the money. I'm not sitting around buying the next Xbox or PlayStation game with it. No, that's a waste of money in my opinion. I will buy that with the money that I, accrue outside of YouTube and stuff like that. But as for my YouTube funds or anything like that, that's on another plane ride, bruh. That's Summer Game Fest money right there. Or PAX East or West money right there. That's what that is. Let's continue.
As we know it, and more specifically, the console business. While PlayStation still champions the value of exclusive releases on its console, they've slowly but surely adopted a more aggressive PC release strategy as well. In a notable statement during Sony's Q3 earnings, PlayStation CEO Hiroki Totoki said, "In the past, as you all know, we wanted to popularize console, and the first-party title's main purpose was to make the console popular." He also adds, "There is a synergy to it. So if you have strong first-party content, not only with our console, but also other platforms like computers, first-party content can be grown with multi-platforms, and that can help operating profit to improve. So that is another one we want to proactively."
How about that? How about that statement? That's Hiroki Totoki, Mr. COO, president of Sony himself, saying ain't good enough. PlayStation by itself just ain't good enough. When Xbox says it, the world is crashing, right? But everybody just shrugs their shoulders when PlayStation says, "Oh, they're going to PC. Okay, that's fine." Is it? Thanks for coming through, Mental. Sorry I didn't get to get you on, but I just didn't find a good time to actually throw out invites. But I do appreciate you for sliding through, listening, spitting your knowledge, doing what you got to do. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. And I hope to see you Friday, tomorrow. If you want to come through, it's up to you.
Work on. But this isn't the first time PlayStation has brought up its shifting perspective on console exclusives. Head of PlayStation Studios, Herman Hulst, also discussed the importance of the PC in May of 2023.
PC has grown to become a substantial part of SAE's first-party business, extending the reach of our IP.
Remember the whole never part for PC and Sony? Yeah.
Beyond the console to a broader audience of players.
Jim Ryan echoed those sentiments on the same call, saying,
in fact, already our PC business is a significant profit contributor.
Harding Rolls of Ampere Analytics dives in a bit deeper. Clearly, the macroeconomic backdrop will have contributed to companies looking to streamline their operations, cut their costs, reduce commercial risk, and cut investments. This is inevitable in the current climate, and it's relevant to all industries. He continues to cite wage inflation and increasing costs of game design as reasons many studios have started looking into the safest route forward.
And that's also why people are just leaving and creating studios on their own. Because they're not getting enough of a cut. Make the amount of work that they're doing feel worth it to themselves. Or maybe they just want to cut ties flat out and just be like, you know what? I feel like I can make a better game without like any of y'all. I can go get my own crew together. Y'all been shifting and moving and doing all this crazy stuff. I ain't feeling it. It's too different for me. Move on and make their own studio. We seen old bro from the crew from Immortals of Evium, Ascendant Studios do that. We seen the guy. I wanted to say Mark, but it's not Mark. damn, I'm forgetting his name. Horizon 5 guy. Damn, I don't remember his name off the top of my head. I just had it and just forgot it. But anyways, he started his own studio, right? We got old bro from 343. Jerry Hook. He started his own company. There's a dude from Embracer that just dipped out and started his own company. People are like, yo, I can figure out how to make a game at a way less of a cost than you guys are doing with way less people because of the ability of like AI and stuff like that being around. Look at these small teams and what they're able to do. Why work under a company that's going to make y'all work your life away if you can afford to make your own studio and work on something that you know you will enjoy?
Which will also mean a more risk-averse market for a few years. One big budget game getting canceled can lead to hundreds of layoffs, according to Pierce. All of these changes will reshape the industry and games we play for years to come. Gamers want more access in more places, and both Xbox and PlayStation are ready to appease that request to meet their ballooning budgets, albeit in different ways. For Xbox, it's releasing former console exclusives on rival hardware, while PlayStation is ramping up its PC porting business. That could mean fewer console exclusives as hardware sales forecasts are reduced, but more ways to play the games we love. While pure console exclusives still go some way towards driving console sales, more so for Nintendo than others, it has become clear that gamers now expect to be able to play games on a variety of devices, Daniel Ahmad, Nico's director of research and insights, tells us. Even in Japan, where the console has traditionally been dominant and 41% of gamers played a console game in the past year, only 14% of all gamers exclusively play on console, according to our 2023 survey of Japanese gamers.
Oof. 14% of all gamers play games exclusively on console during a 2023 survey in Japan. That's a very, very, very light number compared to past, especially where we didn't have such accessibility. We didn't have Steam decks easily to get. We didn't have, all these other handheld devices or switches and, phones, We didn't have phones like that. Even back when the first, touchscreen phones came out, it wasn't like that. Even back when you could, put emulators and stuff on the old on the old Android phones. Still was a higher number than 14%, big dog. 14% is mad low. That's saying we don't really need it, but we like it. That's what that says. We don't need it, but we like it. It's cool.
Gamers. Players getting more access and more options for how to play is amazing news for customers. While porting to PC and mobile isn't a new strategy, it's happening at a much faster rate, and it will have a drastic impact on the console market and how we consume games in the future. Console platform holders have embraced a broader strategy over the past few years and will continue doing so with the aim of reaching gamers on non-console platforms, Ahmad tells IGN. And recent comments from Phil Spencer seem to indicate an incredibly aggressive approach in this respect.
Run that back.
Rumors are from Phil embraced a broad console market and how we consume games in the future. Console platform holders have embraced a broader strategy over the past few years and will continue doing so with the aim of reaching gamers on non-console platforms.
Isn't that something? These games are trying to reach gamers on non-console platforms. So what is that going to do to the consoles? They're going to sell less. As time continues to move forward, consoles are going to sell less. because you have the accessibility to other places. Will consoles be gone for good? No, because there are still people out there that just want like the grandma experience. I just buy it, plug it in, it's done. I don't have to do all this crazy stuff in the background or all these updates or, put a PC together or anything like. Nope. You just plug it into the wall, plug the HDMI cord into the TV, done. So platforms or consoles will still be around, sure. But will they ever sell like a PlayStation 2? Will they ever even sell like a Switch again? I don't know. Maybe that makes sense for a handheld because you can take it everywhere with you, right? It's a lot different than under your TV console.
Tells IGN. And recent comments from Phil Spencer seem to indicate an incredibly aggressive approach in this respect. Rumors are swirling of an Xbox handheld that will be more open to services like Epic Games having a place on it, and hopefully services like Steam, a strategy that aims to tear down the walled garden approach the industry has used in the console business for years. Harding Rolls adds, all console players now have strategies in place to reach broader audiences with their services, games, and IP. Out of the three companies, Microsoft has been the quickest and most active in evolving its strategy, largely because it has had a more acute need to look for growth beyond its console business.
Whoops. It's like nobody wants to pay attention. Xbox sees what's wrong right now with themselves, with consoles and everything like that. The company that's struggling the most of the three, which is Xbox, keep it a buck, should and is the first one to be like, yo, I'm trying something different. Isn't that what every NFL team, any basketball team, any sports or whatever, that any business, when a business is behind and they're trying to get to first, who makes the biggest changes? The ones furthest in the back or the ones closest in the front? I tell you what, if you made the NBA finals, you know what you're not going to do? Change up your entire starting five. Even if you didn't win the NBA finals, let's say you won the conference finals or something like that, or you almost won the conference finals. You got to game 7, but you couldn't advance quite. You know what you're not going to do? Fire the entire starting five. Because all you need to do is make a couple tweaks to get into the next position to be able to win. More than likely. Third place or beyond that, further back, the more likely you are to change up more pieces of your strategy. Unless you can literally see that this little piece of the puzzle is fucking up the rest of it, you're probably more willing to change up more of your strategy than first and second place. The few people in front of you are going to do less to switch up their strategy because they're already ahead of you. It's basic, man. This shit is basic. Then Mr. Joanna Dark out here being disrespectful. He said, unless you're Doc Rivers. I hope Matt Likes Games isn't here right now. Doc Rivers is the man. He hates it when I say that. He thinks he's overrated. Y'all disrespectful to my boy Doc.
Even Nintendo is branching away, albeit in a different way, through theme parks and movies. Think of it this way. You don't need to own a Nintendo Switch to go to Universal Studios or watch the upcoming Legend of Zelda live-action movie. And to his point, Toto points out that console sales have remained flat for everyone. Looking back at the last several years,
I mean, it's like it's like proving my point. The podcast. I don't have very many people watching. I'm fine with that. I don't need to have 300 people here watching to listen to some garbage that isn't real, that's not based on anything or whatever, for me to just sit around and tell y'all, yeah, this is true. This is true. This is true. This is how I feel, dog. You know what I'm saying? You know, nah. I'd rather have a smaller amount of people here that want to listen to some real shit. Whether it's positive or negative. Real shit. This guy right here just said, yo, this shit has been stagnant for a minute. We're just starting now to be able to see all the abilities of moving and doing stuff differently, because the digital age is much more prevalent and they're able to work with each other so much easier than they were prior. It's just like if we were to have COVID in the 90s versus COVID a couple years ago. Back in the 90s, there was nobody doing video calls. Schools were not doing video calls. They didn't have that. Cisco wasn't even with that type of shit yet. Fuck out of here, Matt, with the disrespect. Oh, man. She said sports history. This man's out of his mind. Disrespectful. But you see what I'm saying, y'all? These people keep telling you the same thing, but some of y'all don't want to hear it. Some of y'all don't want to hear it. You'll just go listen to somebody else that'll tell you, oh, everything's okay. We're fine. Xbox is great. Or the other way around, oh, PlayStation's fine. Nothing's wrong. We're great. Don't worry. Or even the people that are just nonstop negative. PlayStation's dead. Or Xbox is dead. Man, neither one of these damn companies are dead. They are completely changing what they were from yesterday. Whether you like it or not, and whether you want to admit it or not, I don't give a shit if you don't agree with me. It doesn't matter. That doesn't take or put money in my pocket. That doesn't take or take away sleep from my night. Doesn't do shit. The facts are right in front of you. Read them if you wish. The gaming console space has been stagnant for years. Ray Chi just got done showing you numbers. He literally brought up the numbers. 3 generations in a row. Each one within 5 million of each other. That's nuts. That's not growth. That's called a plateau. Stagnant. Not moving. Running on the mouse wheel. It's insanity at this point. And, Microsoft is saying, I'm sick of the insanity. PlayStation said, you know what? I like my traditions, but I'm kind of sick of it too. Nintendo says, hey, yo, we've been changing shit every generation. You don't have to tell me much. That's what Nintendo said. We've been changing shit every generation. You ain't got to say much to us. We already know how it goes.
It is easy to see that the
I gotta get
Xbox and
moving, man. I got
PlayStation
another
console
podcast
audience
here in like
is
25
not
minutes.
growing. The data backs it
Yes.
up. No console,
On
not
the
even the
channel.
highly successful Nintendo Switch, has managed to surpass the 160 million units the PS2 sold. In over 20 years, the closest was the Nintendo DS, which capped out at around 154 million units. Even the Nintendo Switch, that everyone points at as the bar for success, which is currently gearing up for a successor, is currently sitting just shy of 140 million units sold. So how will this impact you? If you have poured a purported $300 million into developing Spider-Man 2, it makes sense to invest a comparably modest sum to port it over to the PC to address a bigger audience and drastically improve the bottom line, Toto says. A win for the customer, in my opinion. There are two main factors driving the expansion to PC and mobile, Ahmad elaborates. The first is the opportunity in terms of audience size and player spending, especially in Asian markets where these platforms are dominant. The second factor is that AAA game development budgets have continued to grow over the past decade, which pushed many publishers to increase the price of console games from $60 to $70. Free-to-play games also need a large and engaged audience to succeed over the long term, which may be limited by a capped console install base. Therefore, launching the games on PC or bringing first-party IP to mobile is a way to address these 2 points. Change can be scary for some, but take comfort in knowing that there's still a massive drive for spending on the console, which seems to indicate that console and hardware fans have nothing to worry about. A handheld strategy like the one Xbox is hinting at is a sound one according to Rolls.
That's it's what I just got done saying. The console market, it's not going to be gone. It's not like they're just going to take consoles and say, no, we're done with this completely. It's like what a lot of us has thought. Okay. Consoles will be around for a minute. People still like to do the simple thing. Plug in and play. But when you have your IPs going to other places, it only means, oh shit, I can listen to this on Spotify. I guess I don't need this Walkman as much anymore. I still want my Walkman, but I don't need it as much anymore. Or hey, I just got a new stereo in my car. It does Bluetooth. It takes CDs as well, but I guess I don't have to buy CDs as much anymore. You just turn on my phone. Different ways of accessing the exact same thing, which means something's got to take a hit. It's simple. Something's got to give. You're not going to make the exact same amount in consoles if everyone's able to play games in other places. That person that has a PS5 might not want to get a PS6 because they got a PC. Or maybe they have the ROG Ally and they see, oh man, I'm not a graphics whore. I just want to be able to play the game. And if they drop it onto Steam, well, why do I need an Xbox or a PlayStation or whatever? I can just play it here. I don't care. As long as I can play it, I don't care. Let's finish this out because I got to get out of here.
Hardware-wise, there's a lot of innovation in the console market in recent years, focused largely on the handheld sector. I'm expecting that to continue over the next few years. And revenue-wise, there will always be a place for the console. Console represents around 1/3 of total global spend on video game software and services, which shows the opportunity for console platform holders when expanding to mobile and PC. In fact, the contrast is even more pronounced in Asia and MENA, where over 90% of player spending is generated on non-console platforms, Daniel Ahmad tells us. And Rolls backs him up. None of the companies can afford to exit the console market as a platform holder without significantly reducing their games revenue.
Wow, how about that? I know. I don't know. I never know about that, Vinny. This says I have 100 people watching on Twitter. I don't. Maybe. There's been like 2 people to say anything from Twitter. So I never exactly understand the Twitter algorithm with people watching here, or if anyone's even watching there at all, or if it's just throwing numbers up. It does it for like everybody that does these Twitter. With a StreamYard thing. I know Cozy's watching. Yep, she's one of the people that said something earlier. Yobi, oh, apparently Yobi's watching. Okay, all right, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing y'all. All All right. So yeah, let's go on ahead and
I
finish this
expect
up.
them all
Like I
to
said, I gotta
remain
get out of here.
committed to
I
the
got an
console
interview with
market
Vinny in
for
like 20
years to
minutes on
come.
the same channel.
There is a chance we will have Microsoft and Sony focusing a lot more on handheld and the cloud, especially after how the Steam Deck revealed there is high demand for high fidelity games on the go, Toto says. For today, however, one thing is clear. Change is coming. Change is here. More games in more places and a better value for the gamer is a huge win. Console exclusive.
All right. So there we have it. There we have it. There we have it. So as I said, y'all need to quit listening to the bullshit on Twitter. I'm sure a lot of y'all ain't taking it too serious anyways. But ain't nobody buying that bullshit that, oh, Xbox is finished. He just got done telling you in his 10 minutes. He got done telling you, yo, everybody still needs consoles. Everybody does. But anyways, I need to get up out of here. I'm losing my train of thought. And I got it because I keep thinking about here in like 15 minutes, I got to get ready for another show. So anyways, this is your boy Ham Solo signing out. I appreciate you guys coming through, checking out your boy. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't already. Share this thing out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate all of you guys for stopping through here. This is to be the best, to be the most supportive. Go to the YouTube channel, support that. Twitter's cool and whatnot, but I'd rather you subscribe to my channel on YouTube. That's where I'd like to see the most of you guys in the chat and whatnot. But I do also like to throw in Twitter in there just in case there's some folks out there that want to check it out that aren't, that have never seen my channel before or whatever. But anyways, I appreciate you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys here shortly when I talk to Uso Vinny on his Behind Them 6 episodes. But this is your boy Ham Solo 05 Gaming signing out from TSWS Gaming, letting you know to keep it gaming or keep it moving. Peace out, y'all.